guys, it's Christina. I am sitting on my bed recording this in front of my window because it's a nice day out and I decided to get some natural light in. So this video is going to be about my anxiety and my depression struggles and how I've overcome a lot of it from when I was a teenager and as a child. It's going to be a really hard subject because obviously it's an emotional thing, and I hope I don't cry. I guess I'll start from when I first discovered, I guess you would say, when I had depression. I was probably like, I don't know, 10 years old. I got really depressed and like it escalated a lot when I turned 13. You know, those years where you're just like, you know, everyone's out to get me, etc., etc. When I had my depression, I got really depressed and I became suicidal, pretty much. And I used to cut and everything because for me that was a release to my pain. And it was a really hard time for me, and I think one of the reasons behind my, you know, my anxiety and my depression were what I went through as a child, and that was really hard for me. Being verbally and physically abused and other things. It was really hard on me, and I've repressed a lot of it, and you know, I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened, but I know it was horrible and shouldn't have happened to anyone. I dealt with my pain in a way that was unsafe. You know, I could have died. That's what I wanted back then, and now I look back at it and I'm like, I've grown so much since then. And I'm just, it's crazy what I think went through my head and how low I felt back then. I mean, as a teenager you're supposed to be so happy, and as a child you're supposed to be so happy, but I had all these worries and, you know, things I had to worry about when I woke up, you know, when I woke up, when I slept. You know, and I was teased a lot as a child and as a teenager, and that was just the cherry on top of everything else that was going on at home. And then I got teased at school for my clothes, the way I looked, etc. And, you know, I can't tell you how many times I came home from elementary school, I just cried. And, you know, my parent that I had was like, oh, I'll give you a reason to cry. You know, he didn't even care. And then like whenever I told him that I cut myself and I didn't feel like being alive, he told me, stop wanting attention. You get whatever you want, which I didn't. Stop wanting attention. Stop being an attention whore. I was like 13, and you know, being verbally abused from the time you're like 5 years old till you're like 20, actually older, but you know, I don't talk to him anymore, but you know, being called a slut, a whore, a bitch, all the names you shouldn't be calling a daughter or a woman for that matter, or anyone. That's what I was called. You name it, I was probably called it by someone who was supposed to be my father, but sorry for the language, but is a piece of shit. I found out a couple things a couple days ago that have changed a lot of what I think about him, and I mean, I already didn't want anything to do with him, but now now it's like the cherry on top of everything that's been going on. My repressed memory is coming back, and the dreams I've been having, and yeah, I'm kind of getting off subject, but I think I'm ranting a little bit. It's helping me. But my anxiety and depression, it comes back sometimes. I don't cut anymore. I don't do any destructive behavior. But you know, sometimes I get really anxious about stuff. Like my hands will shake, I'll get all fidgety, and I'll shake, and like I hate it, and I hate taking medication for it. I feel like a zombie when I take that stuff. Like, I've tried so many different kinds, and it just does not work for me. Like, I feel like a zombie, and I hate feeling like a zombie. It's the most horrible feeling someone can feel, is feeling like, it's horrible. And I don't know. Luckily, I have like the most amazing friends, and most of my family, well, some of my family is there for me to talk to, and for me to bitch at, you know, bitch, rant, yell, you know, just talk about what's going on. And back then, I didn't really trust anyone. How do I say this? I couldn't talk to anyone. Like, I don't know, I still have trouble letting people in my life. Like, I feel like they're gonna fuck me over. And I know this video is gonna have a lot of cuss words, and I'm sorry about that. But it's how I deal with my stuff that I'm going through right now. And I haven't even cried about any of this that I found out a couple days ago. And I think one of the reasons I haven't cried at all is because I trained myself not to cry, because if I cried in front of my father, he would be like, I'll give you a reason to cry. And I mean, even when I was like a child, he told me that, like, I would cry and like hurt myself and fall, and he'd be like, oh, I'll give you a reason to fucking cry. And I'm like, really? And it was really hard, and I wish I had a normal childhood like a lot of people have had, but I didn't. And you know, I don't regret not having a normal childhood. I've learned from it. It's made me a strong person, to say the least. And I like to think that whenever I have children, I'll do so much better job, and it scares me to death that I'll be like my father. And I keep promising myself that I won't. I will not hurt them like I've been hurt my entire life. And you know, he didn't let me around my mom. She wasn't around because he practically, you know, said horrible things about her that aren't true and weren't true. And you know, I believed him because I was so caught up in thinking he was an amazing person when obviously he isn't. And I don't know, I guess I wanted to think he was a good person. I don't know. But how I deal with it now, I usually like write down stuff in like a notebook, or you know, I type it up and save it, and I talk it out with my fiance a lot now, and that's a big milestone for me. I've never done that before, which means a lot to me, that I can talk to him about that stuff. It's awesome. And yeah, but I've gotten through it, and if there's anyone that's watching this that has gone through anxiety or depression, or is going through it, or is self-harming or anything, I'm here to tell you that it does get better. It gets better. I mean, obviously life's not perfect, but I've learned you have to be a strong person to survive this world. I mean, I have friends that I can talk to. I mean, anyone. There's so many hotlines and everything. You can just talk to a random person and like rant about anything you want. And I think that's awesome. And I really, really hope if any of you are self-harming, please get help. I can't say that enough. Because I wish I would have known that stuff back then. But I didn't want to listen to anyone. I felt like that was my only way to release my pain, that I was suffering so much. It's difficult, but you get through it. And I know everyone says that, but it's true. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it's jumbled, but you know, it's a rant and informative, I hope. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments, or if you want to message me about my depression or anxiety, if you have any other questions, just message me and I will reply to you as soon as possible. And subscribe if you want to see any more of these videos. Like it if you like this kind of video, and I hope to see you guys in my comments, and I hope you keep watching these videos. And I will be doing more beauty videos, but I'm waiting to get some stuff from Elf, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Bye.